Test. I wonder if I'm alive. Starting coder. Okay. So, oh, I'm live. Wow, this is unexpected. Okay, so I'm live, and welcome to another episode of Xa Talk Show. Today is September 6th, Friday, 6:50 a.m. in the morning, San Francisco time. And so I'm starting 10 minutes early. So let's start command log mod, and on this window you can see all my Emacs commands such as forward word, backward word, and so on. And let's see, how do I find out how many people are watching now? I'm not sure I can. Let's see, live dashboard, stream status bad. What the heck? No data. What the heck? No data. Live bad. Primary stream. We are not receiving video data at fast enough rate. He is not receiving data at fast enough rate. 720 stream. Okay, let's go to settings and stream. Okay. General. Now it's in the morning, 7 o'clock, so I cannot talk very loud. And video, let's check video. Okay, this should be right, but YouTube says no, now it's good. What the fuck is going on with this? Morning. Hey, good morning, Kathy. Great to see you again. What's up, Kathy? So today we don't have a topic, so you pick a topic. So Kathy, pick a topic. Like, do you like to hear about Emacs, JavaScript, Golang, or anything else random? Otherwise, I'm just gonna start to talk random, I guess. And okay, so yesterday, well, a few days ago, I did this interactive application. This is inverted unicode. So let me show you here. So I'm gonna copy the file path, go to the Google Chrome, open a new window, paste it, enter. So this is done in JavaScript. So Kathy, you are a programmer, right? Or you are a logician? I get a sense you are a logician. Oh, regular expression in Lisp. Okay, let's do that. So you see, okay, let me show you this first. Okay, so I wrote this JavaScript application few days ago. You see, as you can see, it shows the text inverted. So all these are Unicode characters. You can see, for example, I copy these. Well, they are just inverted Unicode characters. Each one of these is a character. Unicode is interesting. There's something interesting about this. Some of these characters, their name is. Let me show you. Let me see. Let's see. Inverted. Okay, let's see. You see this character inverted Y. The Unicode name is turned sans serif capital Y. So in Unicode, you have several characters that's turned. For example, this one, inverted V, is called Latin capital letter turned V. Apparently, in the old days when you print, you use the metal, and you have several metal blocks. Each one is a letter. You arrange them together. That's how you print. And apparently, sometimes you invert the letter. For example, this one, Latin small letter turned E. Now this character is also used in phonetics. It's pronounced like butter. Uh, the It's like It's kind of like and the reason we have a character like that is because it's very easy just to turn around the printing block to create a new letter. So people did that, because otherwise if you are going to create a new character, such as whatever character, let's see, for example, this Shavian alphabet, if you are going to create a new character such as these, you are going to need to cast a new metal, and that is a very expensive process. This is like 200 years ago or something like that. Very expensive. So when people wanted a new character, what they do is they just invert it. So that's why you have this inverted. Many of the characters, you have them, just English characters inverted. But however, some of them do not exist. Like you have to, for example, let's see, inverted A, B, C, open D, E, reverse D, turned F, turned G. Okay, those are capital. And there are some of them that does not have a inverted version, so you just try to find it in Russian or some other languages. So that's about inverted characters, and they also have inverted comma. For example, you see this where here inverted comma, and of course you have inverted exclamation sign, and you have inverted question mark. Those are used in Spanish. You put that in the beginning of a sentence, and you have also inverted period. So let's copy that. Go to Emacs. So you are an Emacs user, right? Yeah, obviously. Regular expression in Emacs. So open a new buffer, paste it, magnify. Uh, then we can. Let's copy this part. Copy it. Copy back to Emacs. Paste it here, and you call describe char. So you see this is an inverted question mark, and let's call describe char on the period. Okay, so that character is dot above. So Kathy says, I always wondered how people did that, and especially why. Okay, I guess the reason why is, Coke did this ad on Twitter. Coca-Cola, they did this ad on Twitter, so it's easier to read it if you just let's see. Let me show that. It's dramatic. That's why, I guess that's why people. So here is the picture. Let's back up. Let's go to diode. Go to diode. So this is the file. Let's rename it. Rename it with 2. Okay. Okay. Open it. Open in preview, and you can see here preview. Now we rotate it, Oh, there it is. So it says, "Think you got what it takes," you know. So that's a ad for from Coca-Cola. Hold on a second. So let me delete that file. So this is the file. Delete the file. Close it. Close it. Okay. So we are done with that. Okay. So regular expressions in eLisp. So you are coding Emacs Lisp? Close that. Don't save. Go to Emacs blog. Open it. Then Emacs Lisp. And there is a section on regular expressions. Search regex. Yeah, regular expression in Emacs Lisp. So Kathy says, I'm a PhD doing machine learning research, almost do minimum programming compared with other coder. Okay, because normally what make thing working is just a few lines of mathematical functions. Machine learning research. Okay, that's that's a deep subject. So yeah, so that's mostly mathematics, statistics. I think I haven't actually got into study machine learning. Machine learning. So I suppose you are. I mean, I'm thinking mostly they are doing neural networks. They are using neural networks or some kind of data mining and statistics. So what languages do you use to do those machine learning? So Kathy says, but I'm thinking doing something more practical for fun, natural language analysis with web scraping. Regular expressions is underrated in all academic study. Oh, let's see. I see. Yeah, it's heavily used in industry. Statistics. Okay, so regular expression. Oh, you are using R. Yeah. I don't know any R at all. I barely even have ever looked at R code. But from what I hear, it's not that good programming language, from the people who are into programming languages. But I suppose it's a usable language. And okay, so we are going to talk about Emacs Lisp, Emacs regular expression in Emacs Lisp. But do you code Emacs Lisp? I mean, so regular expression in Emacs, there are kind of two aspects. One is that you use it to uh, in Emacs. For example, I want to search something. I can use regular expression to find all patterns in the current directory. All kind of. For example, let's try. I want to search has I want to search any words beginning with H, then three characters, then ending with L. Let's see if we can find that. So do that. So in this directory, search all HTML files. Okay, none. Let's try it again. Oh wait, that is not regular expression. I need to call find um, find text regex. Okay, h dot 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 l. Oh, okay, so that's find and replace. Let me try it again. Find text regex. Okay, h dot 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 l. In this directory, all HTML files. Fixed case search. Yes. With context string. Yes. Okay, so these are all the occurrences. That's how you use regular expression. So regular expression, one aspect is that you simply use it, when you use Emacs. The other aspect is when you are using it with Emacs Lisp code. For example, let me copy this line. let's go. Okay, so let's open this file. So this is my Emacs blog. So now I paste this. Now this is a regular expression. This is the Emacs function, research forward, which stand for regex, search forward using regular expression. So we can try it. Oh my god, there's a spider here on my wall. So we can try it using a regular expression pattern. Let's say space a dot d space. So this will find all, it will find words like and. Okay, so now what we do is we eval last expression. We want to evaluate this code, so we do it. So I'm gonna call it. Look at the left window. So call it. It found it. You see right here. You see it just moved the cursor to that place. Okay, now so that is calling regular expression in Emacs Lisp. So so this is kind of two aspect to it. Okay, so yeah, okay, so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I guess you code Emacs Lisp then, because otherwise you wouldn't ask that, because I wasn't sure. uh, because most people do not need, they are not doing Emacs Lisp. Okay, so Emacs Lisp, so regular expression. So yeah, so let me go back to the regular expression topic. So regular expression, uh, first of all, I mean, if you are Emacs user, even if you code Emacs Lisp, you should be familiar with regular expression, using regular expression in Emacs. Let me search regex. So there is a regular expression tutorial. We talked about this before, and this is just an introduction, because regular expression in Emacs is a little bit different from typically all the other languages. Python, Java, JavaScript, Ruby, they all use pretty much the same regular expression, but Emacs, the one in Emacs is a little bit different. Minor differences, but still it's different from the others, while the others are pretty much all the same. So once you know regular expression, once you got familiar with, for example, calling list matching lines. So let me call it list matching lines. Let me move this here. So list matching lines space a dot d space. Okay, enter. So you see, so here are all the results that contains space dot d space, all the lines, and basically they are all just end word. Yeah, they are all end. Okay, so once you are familiar with Emacs regular expression syntax, which character stands for what. Once you know that, then it's pretty much trivial to use it in Emacs Lisp. The only difference is that you just need to add a lot backslashes, right? So you know that. So with that said, do you have any specific questions you are wondering? Like, okay, so where do you add the backslashes? Let's look at my tutorial. So Emacs regular expression. So if you have any specific questions or directions, just post it. Okay, so that way it's better. So Emacs regular expression, you need to, if you use it in Emacs Lisp, you need to add backslashes. So let me close this. Let me explain what is it that you need to do. Okay, so first of all, in Emacs, when you have a string, this is the only syntax for string. That is with double quotes. ASCII double quote, something something ASCII double quote. That's a string. Now in Emacs Lisp, there is no special syntax for regular expression. For example, in Python, for example, in JavaScript, okay, in JavaScript, you can a dot d. Okay, so in JavaScript, this is a regular expression. You can, it start with a slash, ends with a slash. It's not a string. So when you see when you well, you can also use a string. For example, in JavaScript, you could use a string, and if you use a string in a regular expression function that as an argument, depending on the function, often it will just automatically change it into a regular expression object. Or alternatively, you can use this slash syntax directly. That just becomes a regular expression object. So this is in JavaScript. Similarly, in Perl, and similarly, this is true in Perl. You have different syntaxes to represent regular expression specifically. But in Emacs Lisp, there is no such thing. The only way, I mean, every regular expression function, they are just going to take a string, as a regular expression pattern. So you can forget about all these, special syntax. Okay, so why is this important? Well, this is important because that is why when you need all the backslashes, in a sense it's simple because now you don't have to worry about anything. Your only concern is string and how to escape things in string. Okay, so that's one thing. The next thing we're gonna talk about is what characters you need to add a backslash. Good morning, Derek. Good morning. So today's a morning one. So Kathy says, yeah, okay. So let me just continue on about. Yeah, okay. So let me just continue on what characters you need to add a backslash in front. This is actually not so good because then you need a lot of backslashes. It's almost even simple regular expression becomes unreadable, such as this one. For example, you look at this image. Let me show you. Let me magnify. So typically in other languages, you have something like the first line, this one. But when Emacs Lisp, it looks like that. There's no way around it. This is the actual, the full syntax you have to type. There's no other way. Well, there is another way, but that's not standard. I do not recommend using it. Let me just mention that. Okay, so in Emacs there's a package called there's in Emacs there's a package called regex something. I don't remember. We can find it. But anyway, the purpose. So if you use that package, the purpose of that package is that for regular expressions, you have a alternative way to represent all these different syntaxes. So basically, it becomes like a Lisp code. Everything is parentheses. You have lots of nested parentheses. In some way, that's better because because it looks like a Lisp code. Let me show you. Okay, so here is some example of Lisp code. So in some way, it's better because everything looks like this Lisp code. But in other way, it's not better because typically you are familiar with the regular expression syntax. That's everywhere in different languages. But now you have a complete new thing. So let me show you what that package is. Let's try to search it. So hold on a second. Let me, before we do that, close that. Let me write down what we are doing today. So create a new code block, put that here, and this is in JavaScript. Okay, in JavaScript and other in JavaScript you have different delimiters for regular expression. For example, you can use a string or use slash to represent regex object directly. Okay, that's JavaScript, and this is true for other languages, in many languages. So cut that, paste it here, and so there it is, JavaScript. Now here is an example of Emacs Lisp showing browser. Okay, so here is an example of a regular expression in Emacs Lisp. Okay, so what? So let's show. There is a Lisp package that uses special Lisp style regex syntax. Okay, and now let's find out. Let's search what that package is. I don't use it and I don't recommend it. Emacs Lisp regex package. So good morning, Derek and Kathy. Okay, and Kathy says exactly. Normally, I look at regex. We can understand what it matches at glance, but in Emacs, I got lost pretty quickly in counting slashes. Yeah, it's very, you know, I have a lot of experience, but now I'm getting better. I can know right away. I can write it directly. Um, but it take many years, and okay, let me talk about what exactly which character you need to add a backslash. But we also want to find out what is the regular expression package, because I mean there is a Emacs Lisp there is a Emacs Lisp package that changes the entire regular expression syntax to Lisp style. Okay, so Green Deck, good morning, Green Deck. Good morning to Russia. Kathy says, but Emacs have to know how to write customized configurations. What do you mean? Emacsers have to know how to write customized. What do you mean? For what? Okay, so right now two topics. What is the Emacs Lisp package for regular expression? Let's call Lisp packages. Maybe we'll find it here. So let's search for regex. Okay. Okay. Let's list matching lines regex. Okay. So we have several packages there. I think this one. Hold on a second. I think it's this one. Available GNU. So XR. I think it's this one. Open it. It asks me to install. I don't really want to install it, but I just want to show you there exists this package. Emacs Lisp rx regex. Okay, so let's go to rebuilder. No, rebuilder is not what we want. Okay, so rebuilder is another thing. Okay, this guy mastering Emacs, he's a very popular, Mikey Peterson. So he has a tutorial on rebuilder. Let me talk about what is rebuilder. The backslash madness indeed. Further readings. Oh my god. Okay. Well, anyway, so let's get on with this. Hold on a second. Let's put it here. So okay. So we need to find the name of that package, but I don't know what it is right now. So let's go to Emacs wiki. So regular expression, they are talking about regular expression syntax. Okay, so Emacs wiki has a tutorial. Idiosyncrasies of Emacs regular expressions. Yes, indeed. Some regex examples. Oh my god, they are stealing. They are stealing my readership. Oh, regex macro. Okay, so regex macro is built in Emacs. Okay. Rx macro. Yes, that is the one I'm trying to find. Let's see. Rx. Yeah, so you see, you write it like that. I'm not going to show that, but I'm just going to tell you what it's like. Then you can look into. So for example, this, okay, so there's a eLisp package that uses special Lisp syntax for regex, and the package is called Rx. Yeah, so the macro, it's technically a macro. So macro Rx provides user-friendly syntax for regular expression. It's not exactly user-friendly. For example, it says this. Okay, so you see this code. Now this code is similar to, yeah. So that code stands for this one. So which one you actually like, depends on you. So okay, so crx. Okay, so here is a link to rx package. Now this one is building. Okay, yeah, so apparently it's building. So if it is let's see if it's building, we can try it. So Emacs Lisp. So split the window. Well, okay, split the window. Then let's say require rx. Let's see if that works. Run it. Yes, it works. Now let's try this. Rx1 or more. Let's run it. Okay, run it. Oh, it works. Let me show it. Run it. Okay, so this thing returns that. So meaning that, so well, okay, so this is kind of a, I mean, if you are learning regular expression syntax, you could use this to learn it. Actually, I don't recommend it. It's like intermediate step. It's like middleman. I wouldn't recommend it. So anyway, there it is. That's the RX package. It's building in Emacs. This returns this. Okay, so cut it out, put it here, make it that, and let's show in browser. Okay, so there is that package rx, and now there is another thing, interactive rebuilder, regular expression builder. I actually do not recommend that one neither. I don't recommend it. You see, I like things, I like to study things directly, use the raw whatever building, I don't use those intermediate steps. But I'm going to show you rebuilder in a moment. I show you what it is about. I actually never used it. I mean, so my recommendation is that if you want to learn, to build up experience with Emacs regular expression, just use it directly. Just try it, many times. It's the other ways are simply learning as well. You might as well learn regular expression directly. The advantage is that, because it's everywhere almost the same in other languages. So anyway, let's go back to the regular expression in Emacs Lisp. Where do you need to add backslashes? So first of all, I recommend you just you just be very familiar with the Emacs regular expression commands such as query replace, regex, and list matching lines, especially in particular list matching lines. Just call it. Like when you are learning regular expression, you just create a buffer, type something you want to match, then just call list matching lines, like right now, list matching lines space a dot d space. Okay, if it turns out no answer but you expect something, then your regex is wrong. You can try it again. Just try list matching lines again. So this is a very fast way to get the right regular expression syntax. So I highly recommend this is important when you code, even if you code Emacs Lisp, because sometimes you get the okay. So wait, so yeah, I recommend you know list matching lines well. Now let me tell you about where do you need to add. Okay, hold on a second. So let me go back. Okay, so list matching lines. Okay, just use it. Okay, here's a trick. So I call list matching lines, right? Let me do it again. List matching lines space a dot d space, do it, and I find all these result. Now suppose I want to turn whatever the regular expression I just searched, I want to use it in Emacs Lisp. That is, I want to use it in this, some Emacs Lisp function. I want a string there. Now in this case, it's exactly the same. No backslash or slash. But there is a easy way that you can convert whatever the interactive regular expression to the Lisp string syntax with all the backslashes added for you, free. The way you do that is this. Okay, let me try it again. List matching lines space a dot d space enter. Okay, you just call that. Now you want to call the command repeat. Let me just do it because I remember the keys. I don't remember the command. Okay, here it is. Redo. You see in the mini buffer, you see that? Let me copy that. Copy. Okay, and paste here. You see, when you call the command redo, okay, what is the command I just called? Let's see. Here is the command. Oh yeah, repeat. Call this command. Call this. Okay. To convert a regex in interactive call, such as list matching lines. Okay, what you do is this: call first. Call Lisp matching lines first to do what you want. To do what you want. Then immediately call repeat complex command. Then in mini buffer, it will show the Lisp syntax of the regex expression you just used. Okay, that is the thing. Okay, so let's try it. So first of all, so let's see. Let's search for something that requires a lot backslash or something. Let's just try something. Okay, so these matching lines. Let's say I want all non-ASCII characters. Wait. Let's just try something simple first. Okay, so let's say I want to find all links like that, which involves a quote. You see, I want to find things like that, that pattern. So I call Lisp matching lines. Hold on a second. Let me first copy comments. Okay, guys, comments. So I call Lisp matching lines. Then I type this whatever bracket inside, and here I want to say anything that is not a double quote, okay, and one or more. Okay, so that is my pattern. Enter. There it is. Let's magnify so you can see. So you see it finds all the links. Okay, let's try it again. Lisp matching lines, that pattern, enter. Okay, now I want to know how to write that pattern in Emacs Lisp, so I call repeat complex command. I have a key for it, so I just press it. You see, in a mini buffer it shows that. So let me copy it, cancel, paste it here. So let's do it again. So you see, this line now becomes this. You see, so that's super convenient. So this is a simple way, to convert the interactive regular expressions syntax to the Lisp string. You see, now it has many backslashes. This is an easy way because the machine Emacs figures it out for you. So Kathy says, I agree, no intermediate if possible. I do want to hear your experience about which to add backward slash. Okay, so yeah, so this is first of all, this is a simple way to convert. Then I'm gonna tell you which character to backslash. So first of all, let's make a elisp, copy, paste it there. This I don't need. Quote it. Now the syntax coloring is screwed up, so this is what I have to do. Anyway, so show in browser. Okay, so this is very useful. So very useful to convert regex to the Lisp syntax. The coloring is not so great, but anyway. Okay, so as far as what characters you have to escape, in the article I double backslash. Okay, so first, which characters you need to escape? Let me think about how to explain. Okay, so let me explain which character you need to escape. First of all, that backslash t, let's see, backslash t means tab. Okay, so actually, yeah, okay, so backslash t is tab and backslash n is new line. Okay, you do not need to escape them. And backslash quote. So these three are with backslashes. You don't need to escape backslash t, so it's just single backslash. That means tab, and backslash n means new line. And if you want a double quote, you need to have one backslash. That is it. Now the next thing is that in Emacs Lisp regular expression, many of the things you need a backslash character. For example, suppose you want to search. Suppose you want to find a group. I mean, you want to group patterns such that you can refer to it later. How you do that? You use parentheses, but you need you need to use backslash parentheses. So this is even for interactive regular expression. This is what you need to do. So in eLisp, then in eLisp, everything with a backslash, you need a backslash again. So in eLisp, let me show you what is in eLisp. So in the Emacs Lisp, it's going to be that. Okay, so for example, I say sum. Okay, let's say ABC. So this is the interactive code. If you want to capture the pattern, you know, ABC, you want to capture, that doesn't make sense. So let's use the a.b space. Okay, let's say that's a pattern you want to capture. But in Emacs Lisp code, this is the code you want. So let's do an example. Let's do an example. Okay, let's open a new buffer. Good morning, Amain, Amne. Good morning. So let's show an example. So we want a and okay. So hold on seconds. Some and that, this and that. So we have a line, this and that. Now we want to replace anything, this and that. Let's say add 3. Okay, let's say this and that add 3. That's a sentence. Now we want to replace anything with space a dot d space to something else. Okay, let's say replace them with xxs. Let's say x. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to call query replace regex on the left window. You can see there. And now I'm going to type the pattern. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just do this. Okay, query query replace regex. Now type the pattern. So I want to backslash parenthesis space a dot d space backslash parenthesis. You need a backslash because you want to capture. If you just use parentheses, that is literal parentheses. Okay, this is a difference between Emacs Lisp regular expression versus other languages. Okay, let's do that. So enter, replace with x. Okay, enter. So it found it. You see, it asked me whether I want to replace that one. So yes, yes. Okay, so So that worked, you see. Now remember what I said before, the technique to automatically convert. So we can do that. So we call repeat complex command and copy whatever is in the mini buffer, paste. You see, so Emacs showed us, this is the actual regular expression pattern. You can see now it has two backslashes. Okay, so let's go back to our notes. Yeah, so it just like what we showed here. So does that make sense? So okay, so I know this is so far it's probably very confusing, and there's nothing you can do about it. It is true. It is very confusing. There's no simple way to explain it. The only way I can explain is that first of all remember that \t \n is tab and new line. There are a few others, okay? There are a few others, but rarely used. And then if you want to have a literal double quote, then you need to have a \n. So all these, by the way, so let me just actually put it correctly. So all these needs to have, wait, they are strings, they are inside strings. Okay, first of all, remember there are these three, okay? Now, the next thing, first of all, remember these, okay? Okay, so actually, let me make it more fancy. This means, oops, yeah. Literal double quote. Okay, first of all, remember these three things. Then, uh, then, then any backslash in Lisp regex needs to be double backslash. Okay. For example, that becomes that. Okay, so show in browser. Yeah, so first of all, remember these three. Then any backslash in Emacs Lisp regular expression needs to have a backslash in front of it, double backslash basically. Now, why? So what things in Emacs Lisp regular expression has a backslash? There are quite a few. Yeah, so it's very confusing. You just have to try, you know, I, after many years, then you'll know it well. Why did it delete spaces? Oh yeah, because my replace. Okay, yes, the previous example. That's because my replace string do not have space. That is why. So for example, let's do it again. Let's do this again. Let's redo, undo. Okay. So let's do it again. Okay. What we are doing query replace regex. Okay, and our pattern is this. Okay, and our replace pattern is x. Now, if you need space, let's just put space x space. Okay, enter. Yes, yes. Then you got space. Okay. Now let's call repeat complex command. So in a mini buffer, we got that. Cancel it, paste. So you see. Yeah. So by the way, so this command replace this command. What repeat complex command is quite useful. I use it a lot. What it does is that it will call the previous command that involved some option. Like sometimes when you do meta x, some commands you need to give it option. I mean, it will prompt you, oh, okay, what file name, what directory, things like that, or what string. When you want to repeat those commands, you can just call repeat complex command. When you call that, you'll just put out the whole actual Emacs Lisp code. So so you see, once I have these, okay, let me show you this trick. Okay, undo, 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 undo. Okay, now I paste it here. Now I can just evaluate this expression and you'll just do the whole thing. For example, without any meta x. For example, without calling any meta x. For example, let's try it. I'm just going to call eval last 6. Okay, call it. You see, it's already calling. So I just press enter, enter, and it's done. You see, undo, undo, eval it. You see, so this command, repeat complex command, is very useful. It repeats the last command you called that involved options, without you having to enter options again, because it'll just prompt the whole Lisp code. Then you just press enter and you just call it. So so Kathy says, I didn't know there was a query replace regex. Oh, that is very useful. That is fundamental. Yeah, it's very useful. So in Emacs, Emacs regular expression is used in many commands. Let's see where Emacs blogs. So practical Emacs. Then you go down, font topic, rectangle topic, shell topic. Regex is somewhere, I forgot where. Let's just search for regex. Okay, so Emacs find replace topic. Yeah, so all these articles are about find replace of the current buffer, or all files in a directory, or you simply want to highlight certain sentences, lines, or words. They are all regular expression. So yeah, so mastering regular expression is rather very useful. Hold on, let's close that. Let me just put this for the moment. So yeah, so the first thing you want to know is what are all the commands that use regular expression. There are many. For search text in buffer, I search forward, that use regular expression. No, that doesn't actually. But you can. There's a regular expression version. For example, I'm not going to talk about that anyway. So you have I search current word, I search white space regex. Okay. So anyway, okay. So you have list matching lines, extremely useful. That use regular expression. You also have highlight lines matching regex. You have delete matching lines. You have delete non-matching lines. I use all these very often, almost every day for sure. At least every day, some of them. But list matching lines I almost use every hour. So all these takes a regular expression, which also means when you want to code Emacs Lisp using regular expression, all these are useful. All these can actually be coded in Emacs Lisp too. After all, yeah, there are also Lisp commands. So anyway, so go to the regular expression tutorial. So these two are the most useful: query replace, regex, and list matching lines. Okay. So in summary, I would recommend you use them often. That way, it's the best way to get familiar with trial and error. To debug your regular expression. Then you use the repeat complex complex repeat complex command technique to convert it to the actual Lisp regex string syntax. So anyway, this tutorial is about regular expression, how to use it. Then go to the bottom, regex in Emacs Lisp code. This is about, once you are familiar with the Emacs version of regex, then you need to know about how to how to escape stuff and related issues, and this article will help. Okay, yeah. So another way to test regular expression is by this way. For example, let's open a new buffer, paste here, and let's do the same example like we did before. This and that at 3. So here we just space a dot d space. Okay, then I just evaluate this part. Okay, call like I call eval last command. Okay, if you see the cursor moved, it worked. If the cursor didn't move, it doesn't work. Let's try it again. Okay, eval last says eval last sixth. Okay, it worked. Now let's copy this, paste. Let's try something else. Okay, eval last sixth. It says debugger entered, search failed. You see, so this is another quick way to test your regex. Then you can just modify. Let's try dot dot dot. Okay, eval it. It worked. Actually, dot dot dot. Oh yeah, dot dot. We are searching for space, any character, any character, any character space. That is why it jumps to here, because anyway. So that's how you, one way. This I do this all the time. This is how I test regular expression. Now let's try another example. Then then any other questions, type it. Let's see how long we've been talking. 46 minutes. Yeah, so if you have any other questions, type it. So what I want to do is I want to show, first of all, showing this in browser. So this is my Emacs blog. I want to show all the Unicode characters, such as this one, emoji, I have in this buffer. So let's do that. List matching lines, Unicode characters. So I'm going to use this regex. I know non-ASCII. Okay, this is a syntax particular to Emacs regex. Not in other languages, it's not like that. But this works in Emacs. So I'm just going to do that. So enter. That's incorrect. Okay, so let's see what's wrong. Let's do it again. Oh, okay. So okay, this is wrong. So actually, I need to do it like that. Okay, let's do it again. List matching lines. I need to double the square bracket. Enter. No, actually, that's incorrect. Let's do it again. Okay. Anyway, I forgot. So let's look up the Emacs info for regular expression. Let's call search index. I forgot what's the command name. So let's call a propose. Control HA regex. Let's say search. Okay. Now Emacs shows me all commands that involves the name search. And I want to, okay, I remember the name contains the word index. So let me search. Okay, there it is. Index. Here. You see this command. Emacs index search. This command will search words in the Emacs Lisp manual. So let's call that command. I have a key U. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's do it. So I'm gonna search the command. I'm going to search for regex in Emacs manual. Enter. There it is. You see, right now we are in the Emacs info doc. Are you guys familiar with that? Info doc is the Emacs manual in Emacs. So on this page, it shows me all the special characters in regular expression. I mean, basically, it's explaining the regular expression syntax. So I go up, actually, I go up a section. So this is the manual of Emacs in regular expression. You will need to read it. So, I have a tutorial like I explained before. I have this tutorial. I show all the basic syntax. But, after you have some experience, you will need to read the Emacs Lisp manual for regular expression. You will need to read it because I didn't cover all. So anyway, we are on this page, and what I want to do is go to the character classes, open, and there it is. You can see the character class I want is this. Oh, so my mistake was with the dash. I had the dash. I should not have the dash. Okay, so we know what I want. So close that. Let's try it again. List matching lines. Search for non-ASCII without the dash. There it is. Wait. It's wrong again. So maybe I need the double quote. Oh, there. Okay, finally, finally. So here are the occurrences, all the non-ASCII characters. You see, curly quote, curly single quote, arrow, emoji, bell. That's just an example. So let's try it again. Let's go to top. Let's go to where I was. Let's go to top. Emacs blog. Okay, now list matching lines. Search for that. Enter. And now let's call repeat complex command. Copy. Control G for cancel. Now go here and paste. You see, here is the Lisp code, Lisp matching lines, and that. Okay, that's. I think that's about that for regular expression. Any questions? So Kathy says, yeah, I think listing matching lines with regex is important in daily work. Yeah. Greendeck says, does Common Lisp have any practical use today? I'm reading a book about it right now. Very interesting because I don't know anything about Lisps. I've read that clojure is very similar to Lisp. Yeah, I have a lot to say about that. Now, if you want to, if your goal is to have a job, okay, coding Lisp, you Basically, the most popular is clojure. You want to go with clojure. Okay. Now I have a closure. I have a closure tutorial, so let me just show it. XR keyboard block, no. XR programming block, open in browser. So language tutorials, closure. Okay, I have my closure tutorial is not complete, but you can read it, especially if you are a beginner. So anyway, if you want to work in an industry, closure is the way to go. Unless if you are PhD students, if you are going to do postdoc in some research, then you can learn Scheme or Racket. Let me write it down. Let me write it down. Okay, so which Lisp to learn? Okay, that is the question. If looking for a job, closure. Okay. If in academia, ACADEMIA, then Racket, Scheme. If in academia or language research, then Racket or Scheme. Okay. Now Common Lisp. I don't like Common Lisp, so I don't. So my opinion is biased, probably a little bit. Yeah, I try not to, you know, when I'm answering questions. But anyway, so Common Lisp is not really used. Okay, well, it's used in like, let's say 10 companies in the world, something like that. Well, not many, not you wouldn't find a job in Common Lisp. Okay, so I would not recommend Common Lisp also because Common Lisp is the well, at least in my opinion, it's the worst, and it's not that controversial opinion because, for example, let me show you. Solid Common Lisp. Okay, because many famous programmers have, they don't like Common Lisp. Famous programmers on how Common Lisp sucks. We have Guy Steele, who invented Scheme 30 years ago. We have Rodney Brook. I don't know who he is. Richard Gabriel is the guy who started Lucid Inc., which eventually gave us Emacs. This is like in 1990s. Richard P. Gabriel. Back then, artificial intelligence is done with Lisp. And Richard Gabriel is also most famous for having written "Worse is better." The "Worse is better." The kind of hacker. Have you guys? Do you guys know that article? Very famous. Okay, you should read it. Worse is better. It's like worse is better. Okay, go search. Okay, what is better is one chapter of a book he wrote, Richard Gabriel, about the Unix philosophy versus the Lisp philosophy on design. On how when you have a decision, there are certain principles of Lispers versus the Unix people. I mean, all this is kind of a law. Okay, they are not scientific. But anyway, what is better is you probably heard of it. Anyway, you can go read it. So, and this, of course, there's Paul Graham, which is popular for Yahoo Store, who, he coded Common Lisp. He wrote Yahoo Store and sold to Yahoo for some 100 millions or something. Uh, and he doesn't like Common Lisp, so that's why he created Arc Lisp, which went nowhere. Nobody uses it except on Y Combinator. Arc Lisp, yes, they are using Arc Lisp. Y Combinator is written in at least the comments, the Hacker News is using Arc Lisp. As far as I know, it's going nowhere. Very few people use it. And there's Daniel Weinreb, who is one of the co-founder of the Lisp Machine Inc. I think one of the Lisp companies in the 80s. And he doesn't like yeah, common Lisp. Many people doesn't like common Lisp. You know why? Because I studied Lisp history. So in the 60s, Lisp was invented. Then in the 70s and 80s, there are many different Lisp. It's like language war. I like my Lisp, you like your version of Lisp. You have I don't remember the names. There are several different Lisp. So eventually, people decided, okay, let's merge them all together. We want one unified Lisp, and the result is Common Lisp. But why do many people hate it? Because there's a committee. Okay, I have so many stories to explain because this is gonna be another hour. But I'm not sure I'm gonna. Let's not. Maybe we should not do that. But anyway, what end up happening is that you have a committee that created Common Lisp. Basically, every sect of Lisp, they say, oh, I need this feature in it because this is my Lisp. I'm used to it. You must have this feature. And that group says, no, we must use that, have, another feature too. So you end up with this extremely bloated, common Lisp, lots of problems. So I don't like it. That's my opinion. Of course, today you ask many Lispers, you ask fans of Common Lisp, there are a lot of fanatics. They will say they will say you should use Common Lisp. So anyway, but still, Common Lisp today you don't have no industrial use. Okay, very little. It's kind of dying. It's been no. The standard is like 20 or 30 years old. No, really no progress. Okay, until you ask some communist fanatics. I know several. Because I'm in that group for 10 years. They'll tell you a different story. But go ask them. There's see what they say. So I would say study closure if you are thinking of finding a job one day. I mean, coding for a living in this. But even that, that's don't do Lisp. If your goal is to find a job, Lisp, you don't go anywhere. But closure is the best chance you have. If in academia or for your own pleasure, hobby, racket scheme, you can do that. Then yeah, so I wouldn't recommend this. Well, you can do Emacs Lisp, of course, which is kind of practical. So, Kathy, I don't know why are you using Emacs Lisp, for research? Because it's actually not, it's only used for Emacs. So let me read the comments. Uh, so I hope Green Deck, does that answer your question? Yeah, let me know what you think. Let me give me feedback. So GFX, good morning, GFX. Kathy says, yeah, I think this matching line. So there was a question on Emacs London meetup. How to manage visualize many text.org files with tree structure. How to manage visualize, okay. Especially those text.org files that are not belong to any tree branches. What do you mean they do not belong to any branches? Because if you have an org file, everything is under a tree. Yeah, unless the config headers. So Kathy says, I think searching with regex can solve the management problems. Visualization is difficult if you have thousands text files. Okay, so Kathy, are you still here? Maybe we'll end. It's 1 hour, so yeah, maybe that's it for today. But I can explain something about the visualization because you can turn it into a image with a graph directed graph. That's what they call. So let me show you some of that. Well, maybe I can show you, or maybe not. But let me search for graph. Okay, search for graph because I have written about this. Let's see what we find. Okay, not paragraph. Okay, lots of these are paragraph. Let's go to practical Emacs. Let's go down. There's a section on orgmod. Okay, orgmod markup cheat sheet, orgmod tutorial, source code markup, orgmod for to do, orgmod customization, and pass orgmod. Okay, there is some packages. Actually, I have written code that turns a orgmod into a tree graph. Like you actually generate a graph showing an image file. So I can find that. So if you go to my Emacs blog, go to archive, go to 2018, open them. I think you'll find it. Okay, there's a lot to search. Let me just search for viz space viz because okay, hold on, that's not it. Search for visualization. Um, search for space graph. Oh, there it is. Here is the article. So what date is 2019 January? Okay, mind. Search for mind. There it is. So there is this package. Anyway, let's look at my here. So there are packages that turns orgmod into these images, mind map, or Gantt chart, or graphs like that. So I don't know if that's useful to you, and so if that's what you mean or not. So what you have to do is you have to write code to turn, the input is a orgmod file, and you churn out a different format using a Dart language. You output is a Dart language file. Then there's a tool that takes the Dart language and render it like that. So you could actually see, if you have an org file with lots of trees, you can actually see it visually. That's what this is about. So anyway, let me post this, and if it's useful to some people. And there's also, by the way, there's also packages on the web, or on Mailpad that helps doing that. I have written one, but it's not public. I've written for this professor. It's not public, so but you can try some of the others. Okay, so outline mod, yeah, right. Orgmod, Orgmod was the descendant of outline mod because, as far as I know, the guy he's a astronomy or he was a student of astronomy, so he needs to take notes, in class. So he take notes, and he used the outline mod, but the outline mod has lots of problems with the keys. Key bindings is very convoluted. So anyway, so he started to improve it and improve it, and even and then it became Oak mod. and after, by now it's like after 15 years now, he is a professor, this guy, the Oak mod. Let's see what's his name. Well, you can find his name, but anyway, so he's now a professor. But anyway, that's how Oak mod begin. So anyway, so that's it for today. I guess that's it. So any more questions? uh Otherwise, then that's it. You're 30 seconds, then I'm gonna close down, I guess. So Greendeck says, yeah, I'm learning it just for fun, not for a job. So I should probably switch to Scheme. Yeah, switch to Scheme, but don't use GNU Guile, because I've heard. I mean, if you are just interested in this, don't do GNU Guile. Use Racket. Okay, Racket Scheme. You just search for Racket, you'll find it. Racket. Uh, Racket is actually kind of a broader scheme. But anyway, just do Racket. Look up Racket. Actually, I have some kind of tutorial. I don't actually have a tutorial for Racket, um, but I did some. I did somebody's homework with Racket. Someone paid me to do homework. So this is about 5 years ago. So I learned Racket. You know, so there is a racket mod which is fantastic in Emacs. You can just eval, just like Emacs Lisp. You can eval things, part of the expressions, just like Emacs Lisp. So there is the you know racket using Emacs racket mod. I have a tutorial here, and this is back in 2015. Yeah, that's basically when I did the homework. Then there is the okay, racket. Okay, so this is kind of a introduction to racket. The like what commands are there. The terminal Unix shell commands, how to start it, things like that. Racket has its own editor. Uh, Dr. Racket, it has its own editor, but I use it. I use it in Emacs. But if you are interested, you could use its own editor. Now, Racket is mostly focused as a for tutorial for programming students in Rice University and elsewhere, and they also focus on language research. So Racket is a superset of Scheme Lisp, the language. Okay, it's a superset, and Racket language has a feature such that you can easily change some semantics of the scheme. You can so for example, you can have lazy evaluation. You can have, I don't know, language features like clojure, or what if like entail recursion, and the core with core CC, things like that. Language research, that's useful. Anyway, it's used in academia. Okay, Racket then. Okay, thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Bye.